¿Listos? ¡Apunten!
Authentically accurate westerns. For those of us who love westerns, we're quick to notice if a western film isn't accurate, whether it be the guns, costumes or props. There are several westerns that made the effort when it came to maintaining historic accuracy. It's important to note that no western is 100% accurate. Perhaps they get the historic detail of the event correct, but get some clothing wrong or guns used. We are looking here about those who make the best effort to getting it right. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. These movies are fictional accounts of history, but not documentaries. Here are some of the most historically accurate western films, some based on viewers' suggestions. If you enjoy this video, hit the notification button to get my new videos. If you want to check out my many other videos, head over to my channel. The link is in the description. Please take a moment to like and subscribe the channel as well. I appreciate it. Let's get into it in no particular order.
Never surrender.
Cimarron, 1931. Director, Wesley Ruggles. No expense was spared in creating the sprawling western town in Cimarron. The town gives viewers a real sense of what it was like to live in the Old West. The first western to win a Best Picture Oscar. It would be another 59 years before a western would win the Academy Award for Best Picture again, when Dances with Wolves, 1990, took the main prize. Yancey Cravat, the character played by Richard Dix, was based on real-life lawyer and gunfighter Temple Houston, the son of Sam Houston, whom Dix played in Man of Conquest, 1939, and upon whom the 1960s Western TV series Temple Houston, 1963, was based. Bringham Young, 1940. Director, Henry Hathaway. The true story of famous Mormon leader Brigham Young and his battle to transport his people across the Rocky Mountains to settle in Salt Lake City. The plot focuses on two of his people, Jonathan Kent and Zena Webb, and the hardships they face along the way. This western flick had the advantage of being filmed in 1940, when it was still possible to easily access authentic props, clothes and wagons. The quality of Brigham Young is so incredible that some people actually believe that the still shots from the movie are old historical photos.
I'm aiming to do my share.
The Covered Wagon, 1923. Director, James Cruise. Two wagon caravans converge at what is now Kansas City and combine for the westward push to Oregon. On their quest, the pilgrims will experience desert heat, mountain snow, hunger, and Indian attacks. To complicate matters further, a love triangle develops, as Pretty Molly must choose between Sam, a brute, and Will, the dashing captain of the other caravan. Can Will overcome the skeleton in his closet and win Molly's heart? Many directors have tried to recreate the realness of the Covered Wagon, but have failed to do so. This was the first western that ever portrayed important historical events, doing so without any special effects. The Culpeper Cattle Company, 1972. Director, Dick Richards. Teenager, Ben Mockridge, feels life in a Wild West farm town has nothing better to offer than horse cart racing with other hicks. So he naively begs cattle company owner Frank Culpeper to engage him as the youngest cowboy for a long cattle trail to a fort. His mother barely notices. Ben doesn't even seem to get it when he's told to report as Little Mary to the old cook, whose words, "Cowboy is something you only do if you have nothing better," gradually become clear. Instead of an exciting heroic macho life, it's endless hard work, dumb chores and embarrassment. Even getting literally caught with his pants down, robbed of his horse, and witnessing unpunished crimes. Many movies shy away from the reality of the aftermath of war, but the Culpeper Cattle Company does a convincing job of portraying what life after the Civil War was like. The Iron Horse, 1924. Director, John Ford. Springfield, Illinois. Brandon, a surveyor, dreams of building a railway to the west, but Marsh, a contractor, is skeptical. Abraham Lincoln looks on as their children. Davy Brandon and Miriam Marsh play together. Brandon sets off with Davy to survey a route. They find a pass, which will cut 200 miles off the expected distance, and they are set upon by a party of Cheyenne. One of them, a white renegade with only 2 fingers on his right hand, kills Brandon and scalps him. Davy buries his father. Years pass. In 1862, Lincoln signs the bill authorizing construction of the Union Pacific and Central Pacific Railways. Marsh is principal contractor, and Miriam is engaged to Jessen, the civil engineer. Crews of Chinese, Italians, and Irish work to build the railway while resisting Indian attacks. When the payroll train is delayed by an Indian ambush, the Italians go on strike. Miriam persuades them to return to work. Marsh needs to find a shortcut through the Black Hills to finish on time. He needs to shorten the route by 200 miles. Borman, the biggest landowner, wants the route to stay the same, through his land. Marsh has entrusted Jessen with finding the new route. Bowman has Ruby, a saloon girl, persuade Jessen to do otherwise. Davy, now a Pony Express rider, recalls his father's discovery. He sets off to find the pass. He goes alone, except for Jessen. This silent film used expansive backgrounds to realistically show what the landscape would have looked like during the time period the story is set in. The Big Trail, 1930. Directors, Raoul Walsh, Louis R. Loeffler. Set between 1837 and 1843, telling the story of Brett Coleman, John Wayne. He leads a wagon train of pioneers across the Oregon Trail, through deserts, storms, and Indian attacks as they travel to new lands. While falling for young Ruth Cameron, Marguerite Churchill, Coleman tries to bring the pioneers to the west. He also seeks revenge on Red Flack, Tyrone Power Sr., responsible for the death of his mentor. Raoul Walsh went to great lengths to ensure the movie accurately portrayed the Wild West during the 19th century, with more than 4,000 animals, including 1,400 horses, over 700 natives from 5 different Native American tribes, and 185 different wagons. It was also the first major film to star John Wayne before he became a household name in Stagecoach in later years. The use of the natural landscape across 5 different states helped it to be recognized as historically significant by the United States Library of Congress and preserved by the National Film Registry. The Assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford, 2007. Director, Andrew Dominic. A modern-day Western classic, it dramatizes the personal relationship between historic outlaws Jesse James, Brad Pitt, and Robert Ford, Casey Affleck, over the last 7 months in the life of Jesse James. The story follows how Robert Ford idolizes the famed outlaw and aspires to join his gang. As time passes, Ford becomes disenchanted with James and decides to be the one who brings down his mentor. The movie received high praise for its portrayal of James and Ford's relationship, cinematography, and its realism of the lives of the real-life outlaws living in the 1880s. Both Pitt and Affleck received many nominations for their performances. Monty Walsh, 1970. Director, William A. Fracker. Nothing lasts forever, as this 1970 Western shows. Monty Walsh, Lee Marvin, and his partner, Chet Rollins, Jack Palance, find themselves at the exit of the Wild West. Unsure of their purpose or futures, trying to settle in the town of Harmony with old friends and try to establish new lives. Starting a new life is never easy. Monty and Chet struggle with letting go of the lives they once knew. A softer take on life in the West, showing how railways and business wiped out the need for cowboys. Chet points out to Monty, nobody gets to be a cowboy forever. The lives they know and love are dying out. The sad reality of the movie is it depicts how all eras, especially life in the Old West, must come to an end. An excellent job of comparing the real-life decline of the Wild West and the outlaw way of life. Geronimo, an American Legend, 1993. Director, Walter Hill. Wes Studi takes on the role of the legend Geronimo in Walter Hill's biopic. Sonny Skyhawk, a Sioux activist, hired to be a consultant on the film, vetted every actor portraying a Native American to make sure they had verified tribal affiliation. He described the movie as an accurate account of what Geronimo went through, attempting to give an honest look at its subject, neither lionizing nor demonizing him, both of which have previously been done in films where Geronimo is a character. Around 100 members of historic reenactment groups were hired to be the 6th Cavalry on screen, ensuring their costumes and weapons would be correct. Geronimo was never forced from the reservation by the army, as the film depicts. The truth was more complicated. A dislike of confinement, a belief he was going to be detained, and a general mismanagement of the reservation. Left out of the movie is Geronimo's surrender to General Miles in 1886.
Howdy! Howdy! Any women? Oh, we can get up women convert easy. And say every wife's got 10 children. That's 200 children apiece. And say every one of those 200 has got 20 wives.
There's Luke, Russ, Missoula, and Dixie Brick. Russ was kind of crazy.
Don't stand behind me, kid.
I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think in the comments. I appreciate your likes and subscribers. Hit the notification button to get my new videos. Take a look at my channel and check out my Facebook page. The links are in the description. I am Wrangler. Bye for now. See you again soon.
Monty Walsh, cowboy, born in 1843.
Killed her and my 2 little girls. But in our hearts, never surrender.
Interesting facts about famous people.